Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Gio back with another video where today we're going to be doing just an odd idea I had where we're going to take EA Sports, the manufacturer of NHL 20, and we're going to see how it predicts that the 2020 NHL playoffs will go. So right now I have all the wildcard teams, I guess you'd call it wildcard, and they're in a best of 5 series, and I got them all matched up right here. And then once we see all the matchups, when we see the winners, we'll have them go against the teams that got a bye. So pretty much we're just gonna go simming game by game and see how it goes. So let's jump into it. Okay, so simming, we got Calgary, Winnipeg, and I'm just simming game by game right now. I'm not really gonna talk too much about it, but we'll talk about the results once I'm finished simming with it. And so pretty much I'm just going sim to next game for all of them, and this is what EA thinks is going to happen game by game. So because it's best of 5, it's going to be first team to win 3 games, and right now you can see like some both have won 1 game, some are up 2-0, and for some of these teams it's very possible that they could be sweeping right now if they get a 3-0 lead, but we can just look at it and see how we think it'll go. So from just analyzing right now, we can see Toronto has swept Columbus, which is an interesting matchup right there. Yeah, it seems other than that, we have the Islanders just swept Florida, and Montreal just swept Pittsburgh. That's a interesting, interesting sweep right there. And seems my Arizona Coyotes just blew a 2-0 lead, and there's our matchups for the second round. Okay, guys, so now I have taken all the winners of the first round and I've matched them up against the bye teams. So just looking at it, this is how it's going to be. And I'm just going to go game by game again and see, this time out of 7, which teams will advance to the next round. Okay, guys, so I'm simming again. And so, for example, we got Calgary against the 2019 Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues. We got Vegas versus Nashville, Colorado versus Vancouver, Dallas versus Chicago, Boston versus Toronto. We always know how that goes. The New York Islanders against the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Rangers against the Capitals, and we got the Habs against the Flyers. So let's see how this one goes. It looks like we've got a few 2-0 leads going on right now. We've got Calgary holding a 2-0 lead against St. Louis. We got Vegas holding 2-0 against Nashville. Colorado 2-0 against Vancouver. It seems also Montreal has done that, which is surprising considering how close the Philadelphia Flyers were at actually winning it all, considering how crazy they went on a winning streak this season. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to do that. But let's just keep simming games and see what EA thinks will happen. Oh, and it seems... Oh, my bad again. Nashville has just come back from a 2-0 lead right now, and they might be able to take it. We got what seems like Colorado. Yep, Colorado just swept Vancouver. And we have a few tied series. We have Montreal up 3-1. Vegas still being taken over by Nashville right now, which is crazy. St. Louis is trying to hold on right now and try to come back from a 3-1 deficit right now. Let's see. And Philadelphia will push it to another game. So Nashville versus Vegas, and Nashville will manage to come back from a 2-0 deficit all the way up to win in Game 6. So we have, let's see, Montreal is going to win in 6. St. Louis comes back from the 3-1 deficit. They're able to come back from that, pretty much doing a San Jose Sharks last season. Colorado versus St. Louis now. Then you got Nashville versus Dallas, which was a matchup in the first round last season. Boston versus Tampa Bay, and then surprising, Montreal has made it to the second round against the Washington Capitals. Okay, so it seems St. Louis has a 3-0 lead against the Avalanche. The Dallas Stars are up 2-1. Boston's up 2-1, and Montreal's up 2-1. Montreal surprising everyone. And it seems Colorado does not want to be swept in this playoff series, so they're able to win one game. Let's see. Oh, and they will pull off another game, which gives the St. Louis Blues a chance to win in 6. Or who knows, maybe Colorado will come back. Colorado pushes it to a game 7. Dallas ends the series in 6. Tampa pushing it to a game 7. Montreal and Washington going to game 7. And the Blues will win in game 7. The Lightning will win in game 7. And the Habs will win in game 7. This is an interesting matchup. St. Louis versus Dallas was a second round matchup we had last year, which was where it went into, I believe, double overtime, with one goal dictating it to have the St. Louis Blues go to the third round, which would be where they would take out the San Jose Sharks and eventually win the Stanley Cup. So now, Dallas Stars have swept the St. Louis Blues, and now Tampa Bay and Dallas will play. Tampa Bay takes game 1, game 2, game 3. Could we see them being swept here? Let's go into simulate and let's go in, not real time, but let's just simulate game by game. Tyler Seguin scores. Okay, well, it seems Dallas is just at 2 power plays. Hasn't managed to do anything on them yet. Tampa Bay on the power play. Their shots increasing right now in the first period. It seems the first period might be over with Dallas taking a 1-0 lead. So let's go into period 2. Dallas still above the Tampa Bay Lightning with 17 shots compared to their 11. And their shots just increasing crazily. Dallas doesn't want to be swept. This means that there's a chance that Dallas could maybe push it to game 7 if they get really, really lucky or they try really hard. But this means that, and Steven Stamkos wins, and then John Klingberg immediately scores after that, making it a 2-1 game. And this means that Tampa Bay is either going to win in 5, 6, potentially 7, if Dallas can push it right now. Up 13 more shots against the Lightning right now. The Lightning being the President's Trophy last season. And the Dallas Stars will take game 5. Or game 4, I mean. So now let's simulate again. Dallas on the power play. Time winding down, no score yet. Dallas on another power play, and yet still no score. And Alexander Radulov will score the first opening goal. It seems we're going into the second period, and we still have nothing by the Lightning right now, and we have 1 by Dallas. Tampa's on the power play right now. Nothing came out of that. Dallas on the power play. And Dallas will extend their score, making it 2-0 with Tyler Seguin. But Anthony Cirelli scores, making it a 2-1 game. Same predicament that the Lightning were in last time. And now we will be entering the third period, where Tampa Bay potentially has a chance to end it if they score here. 5-4 power play for the Lightning, 5-4 for the Stars, and now the Lightning again, people taking penalties like crazy. Around 5 minutes winding down, the Lightning need to score if they want to win it right here. The Lightning will score with 25 seconds remaining, and now into overtime. And the Lightning will score Kevin Shattenkirk on Ben Bishop. And like that, the Tampa Bay Lightning are your 2020 Stanley Cup champions.